Subpoenas are flying. Contempt threats flying too. And whistleblowers are coming forward. Congressional correspondent Kilmeny Duchardt just spoke with Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley. Kilmeny?
Greta, good to be with you. This was a wide-ranging interview, and it was interesting to touch base with Senator Grassley on a number of topics because the Republican House majority has really helped propel his investigation into the Biden family's business dealings, which he's been working on since 2019. We explored a lot of topics, including the quest, along with House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, for that FD 1023 unclassified document from the FBI, which alleged a bribery scheme involving then Vice President Joe Biden and a foreign national. I spoke with him about that, and also protections that are needed for whistleblowers that have come forward off the back of those reports of an IRS whistleblower reportedly being retaliated against. Here's a bit of our interview. How would you describe the tone of that phone call and Director Wray's response?
Well, Comer and I were very firm with the Director Wray. We said, and he admitted to us in a letter a couple weeks before that this document that we want is unclassified and that it exists. So if it's unclassified, why can't we have it? So he went through a long dialogue, one-way dialogue about why he had to protect the sources by giving it to the New York Times on a whole other document that I want to emphasize was classified. The document we want was unclassified. They're treating Congress like second-class citizens compared to the New York Times.
Why do you think Director Wray is offering for you and Chairman Comer to review it at FBI headquarters versus physically giving you the document?
Oh, they want to control everything. That's their nature. You know what I told them? I said, you ought to be very open on this because we just had the Durham report come out and it told all the things of the political bias and the FBI not doing their job thoroughly. They could be forthcoming and help the attitude, the public's attitude towards the FBI.
Of course, Senator Grassley has been called, again, a champion for whistleblowers, the patron saint of whistleblowers, adding that he's earned the trust over the years of various individuals from federal agencies being able to come forward. I also spoke to him about the Justice Department whistleblowers, and again, going back to the Hunter Biden investigation, how there are allegations now that the Justice Department, or the FBI rather, labeled derogatory information on Hunter Biden as disinformation, and that there was potential political interference there. He says he doesn't know any more about those disclosures, but he's going to continue to follow that. I asked about the Biden family investigation and whether he has enough evidence at this point to say that President Biden has been compromised by his family's business dealings. He told me that, is there enough evidence? He said, I can't say for sure that there is, but it looks very fishy to me.
Senator Grassley is an older gentleman, one of the older ones in the Senate. I know that you asked him about Senator Feinstein because with the Senate so closely divided, naturally that would be sort of a natural question to ask him. What does he say about Senator Feinstein?
Age keeps coming up in our politics, whether it's President Biden, the fitness for office, to serve in the Oval Office. It comes up in Congress all the time with Senator Dianne Feinstein's health, John Fetterman. And I thought it was interesting to get Senator Grassley's perspective, given that he's the second oldest lawmaker in Congress. He's been a fierce defender of Dianne Feinstein. So I asked him about how he responds essentially to criticisms about her ailing health or that she's no longer fit to do her job. Take a listen.
Look at what they're doing to the oldest member of the United States Senate, an outstanding senator, a person that served 24 years in the United States Senate and has done an outstanding job. What does that say about their attitude towards ageism? And then look at how they're always accusing Republicans of being anti-woman. She should have been chairman of the Judiciary Committee. They forced her out of being chairman of the Judiciary Committee. So aren't they very anti-female? when they won't let people in their own party that ought to have positions of leadership not assume that leadership, and then worse yet, ask them to resign when they're sick with shingles? They're treating her like a, kind of like a skunk at a picnic.
Yeah, so Greta, as you can see there, you know, even as somebody on the opposing side of the aisle, but somebody that can clearly understand, you know, defending Dianne Feinstein in all of this when there are a lot of calls on both sides of the aisle for
It's
her
not just
resignation.
calls. I mean, it's, you know, the way that a lot of people have been handling this is just, I mean, look, you know, I can understand if they don't want her in the Senate, you know, but the way it's being handled, it's such disrespect for someone who has served so many years, whether you're for or against her. And I think that's sort of what Senator Grassley was saying, even though he's a Republican, she's a Democrat.
Yeah.
It's sort of the ugliness of what people have been doing inside the Senate, inside the state of California.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that.
Anyway.